Well, it's like clockwork at this point, man. I picked the other team in a series against the Lakers win game one. So if you want to, you can blame me, Warriors fans. That was a great game one featuring very different shot charts between three-point attempts, free throw attempts, shots at the rim, the whole thing. And I think where I would like to start is with the Lakers defense. So in this game, the Warriors scored 7 baskets at the rim and 7 baskets in the paint, but not right at the rim. And just for some context, looking at some regular season shot chart stuff, if you did that for the whole regular season, 7 baskets in the restricted area, 7 baskets in the paint, but not technically right at the rim, I'm pretty sure you'd be last in the league in like every type of in the paint stat. And you've got AD in a drop on some actions. AD was also playing higher on Steph screens and Clay screens. I do remember a sequence, I don't remember if it was late second, third, whatever, but a lot of handoff actions the Warriors ran where like Jordan Poole was able to get some pull-up threes against the AD drop. And I remember at least one Steph 3 with AD playing high up on him, but Steph was able to get it over him. And of course, Steph made shots in this game, no doubt. But man, it just felt like there were a lot of possessions where the Warriors, they were trying to get something inside, and then it's Vanderbilt who is, trailing somebody, or Schroeder who's trailing somebody, funneling them to Anthony Davis. And then it's AD just continuing to be the defensive monster that he's been in these playoffs. The play that's going to stand out the most for me was when Steph cut to the basket. He had Vanderbilt trailing him. Vando started the game on Steph. Schroeder had possessions on him too. Vando's behind Steph. AD's waiting for him, and then Steph, he flips it to Looney, and then I think Vanderbilt blocked Looney from behind, but he and AD were basically right there. It felt like there were some possessions where, it's maybe some sort of an action where like Draymond's at the top, and then it's Clay or Steph or Poole or whoever cutting, and then it's like, oh crap, there's nothing in the paint. I got to go kick this out just because there's nothing to do in the middle here. And before the Warriors went to Draymond at center in those last like 5 or 6 minutes, it seemed like the Lakers were going to run away with this, really. And we can talk about those Draymond at center minutes and what it can mean moving forward. But, on the other side of things, we had Looney in a drop. And immediately it was like, oh yeah, this is not Sabonis. We had AD making, turnarounds, at least like one turnaround as well as like one deep 2-pointer over Looney. We had a couple of floaters just coming off of screens. We had him also being a force on the glass. Like, again, this is not Domantas Sabonis. And yeah, look, Looney's a good post defender as well as Draymond and all that, but AD definitely got the better of him in this one. But also, there were some interesting like down screens they ran with AD starting from the corner. It felt like they didn't lean on it a lot like in the second half. They definitely did it early on there. That was interesting. But the other thing, too, with that Looney drop is that we saw Reeves and especially D'Lo doing work against it. Hell, we had a LeBron-AD pick and roll where LeBron was able to get a runway and finish through Wiggins for a layup. It's like, how often do we see teams not switch the LeBron-AD action, We also had a LeBron-Schroeder pick and roll where LeBron was screening for Schroeder and he was able to get downhill and finish over Wiggins. But to speak to that D'Lo stuff, it was just, what D'Lo wants to do, which is kind of snake through the lane and do his sort of like get the defender on his back. I think he was doing it to, I want to say it was Steph. Reeves had a couple of pull-ups versus the Looney drop with Steph on his back, and he was able to get like, I remember one like bank shot pull-up, but D'Lo had a couple of mids, one in which he drew a foul on Clay. And look, if that space is going to be there, then it's a matter of can you beat it, whether it's with AD making that shot with Looney backing up on him, or it's going to be, the guards doing it. There was one where D'Lo had the runway with it, and he threw a fantastic skip pass to Troy Brown, who made a 3. One where AD faked a handoff action with D'Lo starting from the corner, got Looney to commit for just a second, but of course, that little bit of space was still there, and then AD's going to the rim for a dunk, basically. So that was kind of noticeable for me. One thing to be said about the Warriors and the way they were guarding the Lakers and stuff, I do think after this game, they might have more pressure on them to like swarm the Lakers like crazy around the paint. And the fear there is, of course, you're giving up threes, but you may have to. Now, as I say that, I do remember Vanderbilt hitting a 3 with Draymond basically not guarding him in, I think, the fourth quarter. So that's the type of stuff you're going to be gambling on. Anyway, let's go to the Draymond at center stuff, which almost stole this game for the Warriors. And, I remember Draymond blocking Schroeder when he was going for a pull-up, where that space earlier was there from Looney. This time it's like, oh, wait a minute, Draymond just blocked my shot. Draymond also had a great closeout on a D'Lo corner 3 that was basically an air ball. I think the the Warriors, if they weren't running a zone, they were doing a bit more of like daring the Lakers to make a 3, basically. There was also that great one where Draymond, he pretty much pushed the pace after a rebound. He throws it to Steph. He drives. It eventually leads to a Poole 3. Like, I don't know if the Draymond at center at the end thing there was this is how the Warriors have to play this series sort of thing, because then you are conceding a whole lot of size to the Lakers. We'll probably see it a little bit more. As far as some matchup stuff, like LeBron was on Draymond for a good amount. He had some minutes on GP2 as well, and that allows LeBron to be a bit more of a help guy, and we will see if the Warriors, like, do you just pressure LeBron to be up there all the time on, like, Steph Clay actions? And it's not even that LeBron can't do it, it's more so just, like, it's very difficult to consistently score inside with AD and LeBron kind of lingering there, right? Whereas, maybe you can force, like, a trap or that sort of thing. Although, as I say that, AD is still going to be waiting for you. But that's another kind of interesting thing where does the Draymond at center lineup, if we see it more, like, does it force AD to be on Draymond, then as a result, Draymond can run that handoff action with Steph? Like, can that be your way of just not allowing AD to sit in front of the rim, basically, on defense? I don't know. Now, for us, some other random things, that Jordan Poole three-pointer late, like, I wasn't shocked to see him shoot it, and also I was like, wow, Jordan Poole really just shot that one, huh? The Warriors had a timeout. They didn't use it. Poole also had a kind of reckless drive trying to go at LeBron and AD late there. Poole made shots in this game. I don't want to act like he didn't do anything. He had like 20-some points. He had those pull-ups on the handoff actions, with AD backing up on him and stuff. And actually, I just took a look at it. The Warriors attempted 53 threes in this game, and I get it. Splash Brothers and all that good stuff. You really don't want to be taking 53 three-point attempts, and I think that speaks to just the size of the Lakers inside and the challenge of the Warriors to try to free up the paint for themselves a little bit. Now, you can't ignore the free throw difference. The Lakers had 29 free throw attempts, and the Warriors had 6. And that's another thing about, having the inside walled off. It's like, well, you could just try to challenge AD at the paint and look to draw contact and all that, but that's kind of scary. I guess where I'm at right now is those handoff actions that you can run, whether it's with Draymond and the shooters or Looney with the shooters and, Steph being, of course, the number one guy here. If you've got daylight on those sort of actions, then of course shoot it, but also, is there any way that you can get some drives to the rim without meeting the LeBron, AD, Jared Vanderbilt front court of doom? Well, for one, you could try extra screeners. Just have somebody screen AD so to where he's not able to just kind of stand there and wait for you, like at the free throw line or whatever, or, get high up on you on some of them. The Grizzlies did that for like at least one play. It was within the very small but one successful stretch the Grizzlies had going at AD on defense. Perhaps that's a possibility. If you can find any sort of way to get AD switched onto Steph, which, if he's not, they're not trapping, they're not trapping, they're not switching, they're just having him play high up on Steph and just get a good contest. So maybe that's not a possibility, but that's certainly one way to get him out of the paint. I guess, do you run that screen, have AD come up, and then don't shoot it immediately, but more so like then dribble to the side to force him to go out there with you, Now, I'm sure the Lakers have a plan for that sort of thing, and it's easier said than done, no doubt, but I'm just kind of spitballing here. We'll see, man. Maybe the Draymond at center lineup to give him more spacing is the move, but again, very scary going smaller against this Lakers team for extended periods of time. But yeah, game 1 was good, and I'm going to go to bed because it's 1 in the morning and I live on the East Coast.